Hello, and welcome to Japanese craft beer reviews. From today, we're going to begin looking at a whole series of beers from a brewery that we haven't touched on yet, and that brewery is called Baeren. And Baeren is a brewery in northern Japan in the city of Morioka, Iwate-ken, Iwate Prefecture, and they have been around since 2001. That was when they were founded, and they are a kind of specialist in German-style beers, and they make a variety of those types of beers, and we will look at several of them. Baeren, their name means bear in German, or it's actually the genitive, the possessive form or plural form of bear, and they do have a bear on their label, and this bear is also standing over a barrel with three traditional beer making tools, so very traditional old style European beer making tools. And Baeren, their original equipment they bought from Germany, and reports are that some of the equipment they bought was actually over 100 years old. And I'm not sure how much of that still exists. They are a fairly large brewery. They're considered a microbrewery though, but they are pretty big. And they make several beers every year. They have three regulars. Those regulars are their classic beer, which is the first one we will look at, the Baeren Classic, which is a Dortmunder style, and a Schwarz beer, and an Alt. So those are their three mainstay beers, but they also make a variety of seasonals throughout the year, and we'll look at about 9 of them. And mainly German styles. They do produce a variety of others as well, but mainly German styles, and they're famous for that in Japan. German style beer has a kind of special place in Japan because the original breweries back in the 1800s were staffed or originated by Europeans, and especially Germans. And Baeren also uses a lot of German ingredients that they import from Germany. And one point about their beers is that while their bottled beers are pasteurized to allow them to be shipped, around the country, their draft beer is not. So if you go to their restaurant in Morioka, you can drink unpasteurized, fresh Baeren beer. On RateBeer, RateBeer lists 104 different beers, individual beers from them, and Untapped has 131, and the Untapped average score is 3.54, a little bit high. So we're going to look at 12 different beers from them, and we will start with their three the three main beers: the Classic, the Schwarz, and the Alt. And let's get going, shall we? Oh, by the way, the bear that they use as on their logo is also the official prefectural animal of Iwate-ken, way up in northern Japan, an area where you might come across a bear in the forest. And shall we now look at another of Baeren's beers, and this is kind of a limited one. It's not in their regular range at all. It's called Baeren 100年 Mugishu, which means 100 years beer, as you can see here. And got a nice little, very different from their usual label, and it has the kanji, the characters for 100 years, and Mugishu. So mugi is barley, shu is liquor, alcoholic drink, and this is designed to stress the fact that they occasionally use equipment that's over 100 years old, which they bought from Germany, and they use this from time to time, I guess. And they also use a cool ship open fermenter to produce some of their beers as well. And apparently this is one. It's a Vienna lager style, 5.5%. I don't know the exactly the IBUs on it, but it's simply beer, barley malt, and hops. Okay, so Vienna lager. On RateBeer, this one has only 3 ratings for an average of 3.47. Untapped, 45 ratings, 3.82, a bit higher. So, should we give this a go? 5.5% Vienna lager. Again, Baeren is best known for their German styles, which they produce. And let's see, what does this look like? Okay, it is a dark, very dark amber, not very reddish at all, with two fingers of pretty chunky off-white head. And put it through the light, see what we get here. Okay, you can see the carbonation rising pretty substantially. All right, let's give it a go. Aroma. Okay, it does have a nice malty nose. It's kind of lightly roasted malt. I think pretty clearly Vienna malt here. It gives a sense of something sweet coming. Flavor quite what you would expect from the aroma. Some chewy malt. Lightly, I'm going to say vegetal, but kind of an unusual fruitiness in mid-palate. So very fruity, sort of an overripe fruitiness, and maybe a light yeast bite here. This is unfiltered beer, so I think we do get a little bit of yeast bite and some caramel. Basically a very toasty, kind of toasted bread sort of character. Yeah, very ripe, kind of overripe stone fruit, caramel, moderate bittering. This is pleasant overall. I don't think this is one of their better efforts, but it's a nice one. But it's interesting that they still do use this old equipment, which they bought, I think, when they first started about 17, 18 years ago. They purchased this very old equipment from Germany and have been brewing beers occasionally on it. I don't believe it's their main equipment nowadays, but in any case. Once again, this is called Baeren Megishu 100 years beer, 5.5% Vienna lager. Give it a go. And go on Baeren's website. You can find a variety of beers for sale now. I think this one might be sold out, but you can certainly find other ones that are interesting and enjoyable to drink. Okay, well that is it for today. We'll be looking at another Baeren beer in our next video. I hope you are along for that. Bye-bye.